Hey all, J-Man here. I just want to tell you about beardedshirts.com. It's a great place to get a lot of cool superhero shirts and other merchandise. You can scroll, they've always got sales on. As you can see, they've got these really cool print all over shirts, which I really love. That's Eddie, the founder of the site. And if you're looking for stuff, all you got to do is you click on the search here and you can type in all over. And that's going to show you the all over prints, which are really, really cool. Look at that. You got Legion of Superheroes, you got Brave and the Bold, you got JSA, you got Superman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, all kinds of stuff. So check out beardedshirts.com. Hello, Legionnaires. Welcome to this special Saturday live stream. I don't usually do Saturdays or Sundays, but we've got a Saturday one and we got one tomorrow. It's a special. It's the 40th anniversary of Transformers. So, of course, Transformers 1 has come out. I've seen it. My review is posted. Sean posted his review. Sean and I both. He really liked it. I would say that I loved it. So we're going to talk about it on an open mic tomorrow. It'll be open up to, of course, the Legionnaires, the channel members. So they'll get first crack at coming in, and then after that, we'll have some regulars who come on, and then after that, I'll open it up to the chat in the the chat in the stream. So that'll be tomorrow. Monday is Legion live stream, of course. 3 more issues of the Legion. I've already read these; they're all awesome. So we're going to talk about those on Monday. Let's thank the Legionnaires. These are the channel members, of course. So Dan, Sean, Stephen, Brennan, Mark D with a C, RR, who's waiting backstage, Philip Story, S Vaughn 82, that's Scotty, my buddy who does Dazzler comics with me, Digger Jim, and Mark from Legion of Comics. And of course, we always thank Clobberin Times. I'm not sure if he liked this or not. We never got a chance to talk about it, but he's going to be a Legionnaire for us forever anyway. So we're going to thank him and shout him out on every stream, regardless of whether he liked it or not. I think he might have liked this. It's John Byrne. He's got a weird relationship with John Byrne. I think he likes some of this stuff and some of the stuff he doesn't like. But anyways, thank you to Clobberin Times, Mike Alonso, of course. We remember you always, buddy, and thanks so much for being a part of our YouTube community, man. You brought us all together. We appreciate it. All right, we've got. I started a bit late today. I don't know what happened. I had something for lunch, and it was like no. My body was like, no, you're not. And I don't know what it is because I ate like a bunch of random things that I don't normally eat, so I can't even pinpoint down. So I was in a lot. I think I'm feeling okay. I'll make it through the stream. I have a couple of people who are going to help me get through this one. So hopefully I should be okay. So let's bring them in. I'll give the fancy intro to my buddy RR.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Morning, hello, Borodashimai. I just like to say, J-Man has shown you the ad for bearded shirts. Now, I'm wearing today. RRTNZ is modeling the Green Lantern with the all-around print.
Yes, those are neat.
Seriously, boys, this shirt made me look 20 pounds lighter. Made my biceps look 2 inches bigger. You've got to get one. The only shirt that's cooler than this is maybe Sean's Ultra Boy shirt, which I am.
Yeah, his is awesome.
But look again. Look at that.
Yeah.
Hey.
His Ultra Boy shirt is also from Bearded Shirts. They also have other. So Eddie from Bearded Shirts wants me to promote these because those are exclusive. Because anyone can put a logo on, right? You can't tell it's from Bearded Shirts, right? Versus these are these special ones, and he's got new fabric. I got. So one of my Legion. Oh, let's bring in our other buddy so he's not hanging out. Let's bring Classic Comics in here. I'm going to give him the Conan intro. Hey, Classic. All right.
Hello, everyone.
So,
hey, Classic.
I was just going to say that I tried. There's the polyester, which is the ones which is this. Now the printing is amazing on them, and you can wash them and they don't lose their shape. So that's the advantage of those. But I tried this other fabric that Eddie just got, and I'm liking it. And I thought the print would be not as clear, but the print is actually very vibrant as well. So I'm going to try both, and then I'll let you guys kind of know which is the better one or which one I prefer. Some people prefer this because it doesn't lose its shape, so you can wash it 100 million times. And like I've washed this Dazzler like 7 times, and it looks like it's brand new. So I don't know. I'll have to see how the other fabric goes. Sorry, Classic. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, if it still looks good after that, that's pretty good quality.
Yes. So that's the advantage of the polyester, and it won't lose its form. The other one is more cotton-ish. So again, it's going to get like, I've washed this like 10 times, and it's already like getting. This is Walmart though. This is the Walmart Wolverine. Let's say hey to everybody in the chat, and then we can start looking at this one. Joe Dog was here first. Hey, Joe Dog. Silver Surfer is awesome in this one. I'll tell you that much.
Spot on, Joe Dog. Silver Surfer putting the smackdown on Orion.
Oh yeah, and RR is in the chat as well. Thank you. Who else? Phil is here. Phil, how's it going, man? FK is here.
Yeah, CT.
Here we go. That's me. Oh, Tevia, how's it going, dude? How's it going? Did you like Transformers? You did, right? You commented on my video. I think you like Transformers. Right? Quagnar is here. Quagnar, how's it going, dude? Do I like Men at Work? The movie with Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez? Sure, that was a fun movie.
But do you come from a land down under?
Was that
Men at Work?
Is that Men? Oh, yeah, the song. Yes, that's right. Did they play it in the movie? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But yes, I do know the song, of course. Yes. You had the other graphic crossover novel with Sorcerer and Green Lantern versus Darkseid and Thanos. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think I got that one.
Okay, the music.
Yeah, see? Where beer does flow and men chunder.
Okay,
Can you hear the thunder?
Yeah, I like that song. I'm not a music guy. My favorite band is Iron Maiden, and I think I can name all the band members, but I might not be able to. But I've memorized complete albums. I can sing like an entire album, but I never got into, I'll say, even with comics, I never read the credits of comics. I didn't look who created things, and you guys all know this, and people in the chat, and Sean too, and Clobby's the master of this. He'd be like, oh, that was inked by this guy. I'm like, how do you even know? Like, I looked at the comic, I thought, this looks cool. The first time I noticed names was Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld, those guys like, oh, hey, I like this. This looks cool. Like, oh, Todd McFarlane's got that, the Spider-Man with the big eyes and all that. I knew Jack Kirby because he's super famous. I knew Neil Adams because he's super famous. But there's a lot of these random, guys. It's like, oh, this guy, like, oh, okay. Like, sure, I don't know who this is. And everyone's like, of course, everyone knows this person. But I did, I knew like the top 5 guys. That's it. Like anything other than, and the Image people, yes, because I bought all the Image comics. Remember them from years ago. Okay, cool. All right, let me share my screen here. Galactus and Darkseid. So I put a poll up for people to vote who they think's gonna win this one. Let's see where the
reader wins this one.
Yeah. We have 8 votes so far. We've got Galactus is in the lead with 38. So the options were Darkseid, Galactus, tie, or no one. So Darkseid's got 12 votes. Galactus has 38% of the 38%, and tie is 25%, and no one is 25%. So there you go. Darkseid. This is John Byrne with Rick Taylor. And I never read this. So I forgot when you mentioned, it's been weeks now, right? It's been like has been 3 or 4 weeks when you mentioned about this one. I can't remember.
Yeah, something.
Was it
like
you?
That.
Yeah. I think we both mentioned it. Classic. Possibly even before the Squadron Supreme stream. I think it popped up in a chat because I had an idea. I put it in super chat once. I had this idea for a Disney Plus show, a Galactus, the apocalyptic gourmet, where every week Galactus travels to a new planet, meets the people, learns to appreciate their culture and enjoy, gains an appreciation for the diversity of their ecosystem, and then eats it.
And then eats it.
Worst travel show ever.
Yeah, so we're sort of the first 15 minutes is Surfer finds a place, tells Galactus about it, he shows up, and then he just eats it at the end, and it's like
Your art galleries are truly beautiful and wondrous. I have learned a great many things by studying your culture. Now I must destroy it.
Yeah, or it could be like it's like the Borg. We will add your
You will add your technological diversity and distinctness to our own.
Yeah, to our own, yeah.
Resistance is futile.
Yeah. I just finished shooting the Blake 7 Aurak episode, the finale. So I just did the review for that today. You guys won't see that for like a month from now, but it's in the queue right now. So I finished Enterprise. I'm done Blake 7 the first season, and I'm also doing Wonder Woman Wonder Woman TV show. All right, Darkseid. So you have this one, right? Or I see you had it there. Yep. Was this
J-Man? Oh, you go ahead. Go, sorry. I was going to say there is a dedication on the first page from Byrne to Jack Kirby, and I think it would be a great way to begin by reading that. If you'd like to read that, or classic, or one of us can. It's where it says this story. It's very small on screen.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and read it. It's tough. It's going to be tough for me to read that.
Before I do, I'll say this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Isaac Newton's one of the greatest scientific minds of all time, yeah? Not a very nice man, but he said of his discoveries, if I've seen further than others, it's because I was standing on the shoulders of giants, yeah? And that is inscribed on the £2 coin, United Kingdom, because it's that profound a saying, yeah? Mm-hmm. Well, we all know John Byrne is a bit of a diva, so this is his standing on the shoulders of giants moment, where he pays respect to Kirby, because he says, this story is dedicated to the memory of Jack King Kirby, who created his own universes when ours alone proved too small to contain him.
Oh, that is awesome.
That's
yeah. I'm gonna save that. save that as a JPEG, and I'll. That is so awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So different from the attitudes of current comic book creators.
Well, and for Byrne especially, because Byrne was such a he was a controversial figure.
Yeah.
Still is. I know J-Man mentioned that, that Clobby had could have taken leave Byrne, hated Byrne's Superman work.
Yeah.
I quite liked most of it, but
me too.
I thought Byrne did wonders with Fantastic Four. I'm a huge fan. Oh, one day, just hinting at other Byrne crossovers. Subliminal messaging. Oh, didn't see that.
Have it go by.
Subliminal messaging. Where'd it go? Oh yeah, Byrne, for me, the stuff he did. I mean, one of the best Galactus stories of all time.
Which one was that? You're gonna have the bar in front of you, but
yeah, that's it.
That's
got to be the great. Is that not the greatest Marvel cover of all time?
Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah.
When Reed saves him, and then of course that has repercussions later.
Yes, the trial, and that trial story is genius, and it breaks my heart. And I think there's so many talking points out of today's comic, not just about the issue itself, but about what happened. Yeah, Starlin. I got some comments, some thoughts for you guys about Starlin, or some questions for you about Starlin for later. But yeah, just what's happened to Galactus since, how he's become a bit of a jobber, and just some of the stories about him, and even in the 90s, where they went through a new Herald every week, and Galactus as a character who's been terribly used and taken just so far away from the original concept. It's quite sad, really.
So this is John Byrne, writer, artist, Rick Taylor, colorist. Just
good name, that.
The Hunger. So we start off here. There's Apocalypse with some little crackly, some crackle a little bit ish, crackle-ish, I guess.
Well, it's Byrne's take on Kirby. I think the art in this is beautiful because it's Byrne still being Byrne, but his interpretation of Kirby, because you'll see lots of Kirby machines and Kirby designs, in the technology of Apocalypse.
Right off the bat, look at this. This is insane already.
There's a lot. I would point out the figure up on the left in the upper left corner, holding the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that is basically Byrne's version of Thor. at DC. He was actually doing a New Gods series around the same time. And that Thor appears in that series.
Yeah, this guy's like every character on this page is awesome.
Oh, beautiful. And but also the writing, the poetry of Byrne's description. I guess it's basically exposition, but the poetry of it, this is peak Byrne, right? Like he's writing in a very grandiose form.
Yeah.
Sort of like Alan Moore on Miracle Man.
Very elevated language.
Oh, a place that is not a place.
I love it.
Kitchen Nightmares, Galactus's nightmares, yeah.
Yeah. Two worlds turn in the darkness as they have for years beyond the scope of mere arithmetic to number. Yeah, it's poetry, and Byrne absolutely gets right how these characters speak throughout the story. Oh, that's why I love this book so much. Now, what the hell is that? What is that? The thing the kids are playing on.
Oh, they had a lot of this weird stuff because we just covered all this, right? Like, and we did have Clobby for that.
So
Yeah, we did have Clobby for the Fourth World stuff, and that's all archived on my channel on the Classic Runs playlist. And there's a lot. There's like a lot of weird stuff. The kids would be like, "You're like, what is this?" It's like, I don't know. It's like it's like a playground floating around. The play area. You take, when you go to the park or whatever. There's like that little kids area. All these weird things going on.
The Bruce Timm JL episode Twilight, where they fight a Darkseid, they travel to New Genesis, and they fight Brainiac as well, has something like that in it. Like obviously they reference, because this works 1995, I think, or is it 96, and they reference, they adapt some of Kirby's work into that episode. It's great if you haven't seen it. It's really good.
I've seen all. Yeah, it's been like so long. The other thing is funny too is like when I watched all these, I had I have Justice League versus the Fatal Five, for example, the Blu-ray of that, and I didn't know the Fatal Five. Like now I know them, so it's like you watch again as new, right? Because you're like, oh, now I know what this. It's like you go. I haven't watched it, but
it starts well, but I think you might struggle a bit with the ending.
Okay. I should have watched it before I knew who these characters were. All right, so there's a bit of this is the explanation for people who don't know what's going on, parademons and all that stuff. There's Orion, there's Highfather, all those guys. This is sort of the backstory. We don't need to cover it like too much because we kind of know.
The source.
Yeah. Hide the world. What does that mean? Well, that means hide it because there's a guy who's hungry and he's coming to get it. It's like the great good. This is all awesome here.
It's the mustache beard.
Yeah. Darkseid. What's this? What's going on here? Oh man, Darkseid. This is awesome. This is the best Darkseid. I didn't like that new design where they gave him like this weird armor. I like this just like big imposing guy with the the big forehead. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you imagine you can tell Darkseid that he does not already know? It's like, I don't know. Look at this. More crackle. They've ignited New Genesis. They've set their world on fire. It's like, look, I can almost hear the screams. Like how he grabs him here, lifts him up. You remember the superpowers toy of Darkseid had that contraption on him that it could like shoot or something. I don't think I've seen that. Have I seen that in any of the comics? I can't remember if I've actually seen him wear something like that.
It was probably just a random toy they stuck on him.
Yeah, just to give him like a cooler thing to have as opposed to just like this hooded guy or whatever.
It's like with Aquaman, they gave him that trident, and he had never carried one in the comics up to that point.
Yeah. I've got that figure in the packaging. I remember getting that when I was a kid. When I got, not the one I had it as a kid, I got it later in the packaging, but I had it as a kid. Tell me what you see out there in the void. Clobby did a better Darkseid, so I'm not going to attempt to do it. But look out into the void. The art here is awesome. The colors and stuff too.
Now you've said it, J-Man. Who do we all think has the best Darkseid voice? Michael Ironside, Tony Todd. Who do we think?
Oh man, that's tough. The thing, I love Tony Todd in everything he does, and I love Michael Ironside in everything he does. So it's like I hate to pick between them. So you're trying to think like who fits better as maybe Michael Ironside.
Yeah, he's got the forehead. So yeah. I'm putting my vote in for Mike. When we hear you read the Darkseid lines, got to think Michael Ironside.
Well, it's not happening. Steven's teacher was Michael Ironside's brother or cousin or something. 100%.
Unreal.
Yeah, yeah, because it's all Canadian boys, right? They're all like Ironsides and Scanners, which is like one of my favorite movies. Anyways, look out into the void. Nothing and nothing. Nothing and nothing. I don't know. Only the eternal emptiness as is always. No, wait. What's that? What is that? What could that be? I have no idea what that could be at all. What could that be?
An amazing splash page coming.
Whoosh, it's the Silver Surfer. The Darkseid contraption was useful as Superman fighter in the superpowers. Yeah, as Superman fighter. Yeah, I know. Whatever. It's a toy line. They got to make toys. At last, I found a world here. Oh man, Silver Surfer. Oh, look at this. This is crazy. I love the ending of this too. Like when I mean, is there a winner? Sort of. We'll have to discuss that when we get to it.
You got to close the poll first, my friend.
Yeah, I'll leave
take the poll, take its course. And
no, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything until we get to like the closer to the end. Then I'll remove it.
I think what I will say this. I do think that this comic tells us though, at that time, who would win. Like if a physical conflict took place, we know who would win at the end.
Okay. All right.
I would say. All
right. Okay. Very intricate. This, feels like kind of a Kirby, like lots of intricacies here.
But a little more rounded, because one of Byrne's geniuses is his curves, right? Whereas Kirby is very jagged and straight.
Jagged.
Yeah. So that's why I say it's interpretation. It's Byrne interpretation of Kirby's work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Byrne was a true, not every comic book professional was really a comic fan. A lot of them wound up in the business because they just kind of had nowhere else to go, and just sort of wound up in it. But Byrne was a true comic fan, and it comes through in a lot of his work. And he was a true Kirby fan too. His, a lot of his Fantastic Four run was him basically doing stuff that harkened back to the original run.
Yeah, the best of or whatever. Like
he reused a bunch of Kirby's ideas.
Yeah, the greatest hits or something of the.
Yeah, he brought back a lot of old villains that hadn't been used in a long time and that sort of thing.
J-Man, because one of the things I love about your channel is your passion for comics and stories. But one thing I really love about when you and Sean get into it is your sound effects. So I think you need to give us a sound effect for the lower right-hand side panel where Surfer has disintegrated one of the... Look at that.
Oh,
like that's what I heard.
Like that,
There we go. Yeah, that's what I'll hear now. He's disintegrated this guy. So that's the sound effect.
Yeah. It's like he's just like destroyed here. Yeah, he does this. This is sick though. You got the parademons like immediately called out. And I mean, so you get a lot of verses. This is one of these things when you're a kid, you're writing down who fought who. It's like, oh yeah, okay. So we had parademons and Surfer go at it, and then you have Orion's coming. Obviously, he's coming. So you're like, oh yeah, like who? What are the battles going to be in this? It's not just it's Galactus's guys, Surfer really, versus Darkseid's guys, and then you also have like. Highfather's guys or whatever. It's like the Royal Rumble here of all of the I feel like Galactus is like vastly outnumbered, but Surfer's so strong that like it's like you're playing Warhammer and like Galactus has like just like one awesome figure on the board, and then you got these other guys.
Well, it's the human wave attack, right? The kamikaze human wave attack. They don't care if they die because they're gonna. but it's just to overwhelm the surfer with sheer numbers, right?
Yeah.
And it's getting chills just reading it. Oh,
like look at this. Look, oh my god, he's like being buried in these guys. There's like more guys coming off the side. Look, this guy's like, let me get in there. It seems 100 rise to take its place. Okay, so yeah, it says like, and where one falls, it seems 100 rise to take its place. The parademons are going to form a union. You know, we're just dying out there for you. Stop it. We want better pay. There was never anything to fear, my master. I love Darkseid here. He's like such a Weasley guy. It's like keeps trying to like, oh, there's nothing in it. There's never anything to fear. Gets a good like he back fisted him, man. What the heck?
Yeah.
That's not worm. I think if I worked for Darkseid, I said this for my Doctor Doom, I'll say it for Darkseid. I think if I was working for Darkseid, I would just never be around. Like, just try not to be around him.
Stay out of arm's length. Hey.
Yeah.
He does not foster a positive work environment. That's
no. No. It's like your annual performance reviewer. Well, you know, you did let Silver Surfer get into our atmosphere, so I don't. No, yeah, it was the parademons. They weren't.
Then he disintegrates you.
Like uses the Omega. There's more at stake here than your loss of stimulation, Darkseid. Let me grab this. Burn Kirby burn mechanics or whatever. I mean, this has all just been big panels. Like no more than like 2 or 3. Like they're almost all splash pages or splash adjacent page. Like, I mean, this is one big page. I always like where there's like a panel in the like in the thing. So it's not like a white border. Like this is in like over top. Like you can almost think like, oh, if I remove this, I'd see more of behind it. Right.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Same thing here. Right. Like this sort of like it's action on top of action. And then, okay. So yeah, again, it's like 3 panels, but it's almost like one big page and then pasted on panels over top. Parademons are like little ants. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, they're like, I guess they're kind of bug-ish, right? Like, do we have a good face? Do we have any good face pictures of them? Anyways, whatever. It's just like they're swarms. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, I guess they've got some. Look at the kind of bug eyes.
Well, they're trying to drag Surfer into the fire pit.
Yeah, this is badass. Get in here.
I thought that was one thing that the Justice League movie did pretty well, is it did a pretty good job depicting the parademons.
Oh yes, the 4-hour or whatever it was.
Snyder one.
Yeah.
Clobberin and I despise that one, so we high five on that one.
Both versions, or is there one you like a little more than the other? Or
well, I don't mind the Josh Whedon one. Sorry, chat or whoever. I walked out of that thinking, hey, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be abysmal. And then I saw the 4-hour one. I'm like, okay, here's the abysmal version. I don't like it at all. It's too long. And I actually like Henry Cavill, the actor and the person. And I like the idea of him as Superman. But I don't like that he's not even in the Justice League 4-hour movie for like long periods. I'm like, this isn't, if it's not Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman at the very minimum, it's not Justice League. And people keep saying, well, they'll become the Justice League. Well, then make that movie. I don't want them to become the Justice League in another movie that's not going to be made. I want the Justice League in the movie called Justice League.
Thing that always makes me scratch my head is that thing at the beginning where he goes, to the village in Greenland or Iceland or wherever to find Aquaman.
Right.
And he's on a horse. And I'm like, you're Bruce Wayne. Wouldn't you fly there in a helicopter?
That's just Zack Snyder weirdness.
Why are you on a horse in the middle of nowhere? You're a freaking billionaire, dude. Come on.
And like, I'll say this and we'll move on. Aquaman drinks a big bottle and throws it into the ocean. Isn't that polluting your home? Like, it's so stupid. I'm like, is this literally happening? It's like, he throws it in the ocean. I'm like, you just polluted the oceans. Like, don't you? Like, I don't get it. It was slow motion and taking his shirt off. Like, I want to see that. All right. Okay, they're trying to drag him down. Yep. It's done. There's Orion. It's like, I like, Orion is interesting. Yeah, or is it? Yeah. I liked Orion in this. This idea that he's, even though, Darkseid is his enemy and all that, it's like, I'm not going to let him go down that way. Kind of, I don't remember exactly what he says.
Right.
It's a Warriors Code thing.
The Warriors Code.
Code.
Yeah. This is cool. Like, this is all just like awesome. Like this.
And we basically get a retelling of Galactus's.
Yeah. There's the Watcher. Opening a big.
Can't tell if he's jacked in this version, but Burns' Watcher usually isn't really muscled up. He's usually kind of the spindly body. Yeah,
he's got a little bit. He seems a bit chubby. I like the Jack Kirby beefed up Watcher. This is badass though. Look at Galactus, man. This is awesome.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant.
And this seems to be set sometime before he finds Earth, because he's in this sort of earlier version of his costume. And
oh no, classic. That's not right. No, the reason he's wearing shorts is because his energy level's so low he can't afford to run the dryer. So he can't. That's why he's in his shorts.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure you're right. Yeah, it's probably before he finds Earth.
He's in his look, he's at home. It's like he's relaxing. It's like he's in his ship. He's not on business. It's like,
yeah,
it's casual Galactus.
Yeah, maybe the AC's just out in his
yes, he doesn't have enough energy to run the AC.
I
love it. Justice League Ultimate. Okay, so Joe Dog didn't like any of the Justice League movies or the Snyder cut. Yeah.
Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah. I love Justice League Unlimited. I've got that. Yeah.
Best $20 I ever spent.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. I've got everything over there. I can't. I did just get the Super Friends Blu-ray complete, all 93 episodes on Blu-ray, and they look pretty good.
I've got a couple of seasons of it. I've got like the first two. I've got like the original and then Challenge.
Marvin and Wendy or whatever.
Yeah, I don't have the later stuff though.
You can get it if you don't have if you don't do Blu-rays. They got them on DVD, and it's like it just came out now, so you can get it like it just came out like last week or something. So you can get them if you want them.
Okay.
I only do DVD.
Yeah, they got them on DVD as well, Blu-ray and DVD. So it's both. Oh man, here you go. Look at this. This is awesome. I don't mind the shorts. It doesn't really.
If you go up a minute, look at the look at the posture of Galactus as he walks.
Mm-hmm.
Very intentional Burns drawing there to show that he is really weary. He's almost leaning on the wall as he walks.
Yeah,
he's not straight. He's leaning. He's like, oh,
yeah,
dirty. I'm not going to swear in this stream. I promise I'm not going to swear in this stream. So dirty word. He says, I'm knackered.
Yeah, damn you. He's got the signal now, so it's like, he's gonna. Oh no, yeah, sorry, he's gonna get. Yeah, he got the signal, right?
Yep.
So now he's gonna go travel to Apocalypse. All right. What was the sphere again? I can't remember. Oh, this is the. Can't remember what's going on here.
Did he have the figure 8 Mobius strip type world ship at that time? The one he has that he tries to consume in Secret Wars, and Doctor Doom steals the energy from it.
I believe he did. I think that thing was supposed to be like his home base, and then this sphere is like his ship.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think they never really showed it very well, right? In those Fantastic Fours that we were going through, it's like I never got like a clear like vision of exactly what it supposed to be. Like you almost need like a who's who of vehicles and weapons or something.
Yeah, it should have been a handbook to the Marvel Universe.
Handbook, yeah.
God, oh gosh.
Oh, everyone's here reacting like, oh my God, this is crazy. Oh, look at this. Holy crap. Here comes the big machines. There's Darkseid. Okay, so now Darkseid is sending out his forces. Send the forces out. Whoosh. Send the boys. You ever see Bad Taste? Peter Jackson's movie Bad Taste?
Yeah.
Send the boys, and the guy presses the, I think this is a job for real men, and they press the boys, and then they send the boys out. That's a great movie. I actually saw Peter Jackson's entire filmography in order. I think I missed Lovely Bones or something, but other than that, I've seen every movie he's ever made, like in order of when it came out.
He nearly stepped on me when I was an extra on The Hobbit.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, I love The Hobbit. I love all 6 Lord of the Rings movies.
What scene are you in, RR?
I can't remember the timestamp. I think I sent J-Man,
did.
a photo of it. I appear. There's a scene. It's one of the first nights they're out camping, and they retell the battle outside Moria, which is a name I can't pronounce. Azunal Bazaar, or something like that. And Balin's telling the story.
Yeah.
And there's a big fight. So I appear in that a couple of times as a probably in the background somewhere when there's a big fight. And it's where Thorin gets the Oakenshield name because he picks up a big stick and uses it to block a sword. Right. Anyway, I think I was dead at that point because then Richard Armitage, who's in real life 6'2",
and he's also the greatest person of all time, just to let everybody know.
Is that right?
I love Richard Armitage and everything he's ever done, and he just seems like the coolest guy ever.
He was very tall. What's really funny is for the scenes where you see him, and he looks small. There's a scale double, a guy named Mark, who looked just like him, but was like 5'1". Incredible. That bit where they charges was the one day Peter Jackson came on our stage because I was on G stage at Stone Street Studios. Andy Serkis was the director on that stage, and he was like the nicest guy. He was the nicest guy ever. He was really nice. Anyway, I'll make this quick because I don't want to take away from the story. But so when they do the charge at first, the first take, Richard Armitage just caught his foot on my leg because I was lying there dead, so they had to redo it. But there's a little bit later where the battle's over. And Balin says, "Oh, there was no victory." That blah blah blah. And if you look at the right-hand side of the screen, there is a dwarf walking with a shield and an axe, and he walks behind the main characters. I'm on screen for about 7 seconds, and it's me. That's me.
Oh my God! You gotta try to get that. Yeah, you sent it, but it wasn't like they're not very. It wasn't a very good. Do you have any? Did you take? You must have. Did you get any pictures of you?
No,
right.
Because we had all that NDAs. You couldn't take or show anything from the film.
Yeah.
No, you got in a lot of trouble for that.
Right.
Because Did
you take anything? Did you take anything from you?
God, no. You'd be fired straight away. It'd be instant dismissal.
Right.
I stood behind Evangeline Lilly and Martin Freeman in the cafeteria line once.
Oh, awesome!
She was very pretty in real life. She's very tiny, little lady, but she's very pretty.
Oh, I love The Hobbit. All right.
Sorry, back to
continue on. No. I could just listen to Hobbit stories. That's like one of my favorite books. I love all 3 movies. I don't care what anyone says; they're all awesome. I love all 6 Lord of the Rings movies. I don't care what anyone says; they're all awesome. Like, stop it. Oh, why did they make 3 movies? Because they made 3 awesome movies. If they made 3 shit movies, then I would have said, why'd they make 3 shit movies on one book? But if they made 3 awesome movies, I'm like, well, they made 3 awesome movies. So I don't know.
I'm glad you like them. Lord of the Rings are my favorite films. The original 3, my favorite films.
Yeah.
I think you should read a little bit from this amazing story about the torrent of death, such as might well lay waste to a continent, lashes down on the still form of Galactus.
Yes.
What's the sound effect for that, J-Man?
What, this? Like,
yeah, what's the sound effect?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, can you imagine modern writers writing this kind of stuff? I mean,
there's no way.
Not a chance.
Yeah. Oh, it's
it would be just like it would be Galactus staying there, be like, "Suck it, Darkseid," or something like that. Stupid.
Oh, Yeah, this is awesome. Like, there he is, Galactus with the short. I don't mind. I like the short, or like the the shorts or whatever. Yet, as the astonished denizens of Apocalypse look on, whoosh. So it's like he's making his thing or whatever.
Look at the crackle on
Galactus is
in the
wearing,
destruction on that page.
something from the Cosmic Beast collection.
Like, look at that. Look at the people. Like the scale, eh? Like,
Oh, brilliant! I never noticed that. Oh
yeah,
my
isn't that
goodness!
crazy?
So this must be extra size Galactus because he's about 50 feet tall usually. I think here he must be close to 100. I would say.
This is like Godzilla, right? Like, holy crap! All right, so I like how Darkseid throughout this whole thing is kind of like not that nervous about anything. It's just like, yeah, he's here. Okay, well, send the parademons. Well, they got wasted. All right, where's my ships? Yeah, go guys, just go out there and do what you could do. He seems like so like relaxed about it, which makes it even cooler because he's like, yeah, okay, Darkseid, or yeah, okay, Galactus, you think you're a badass? That's fine.
We'll eventually find out why he's got this attitude.
Yes. First panel with the ships direct from Fantastic 48 from FF48. Oh,
sure it is, Phil.
Yeah, we just read 48. So wait, you're saying the first panel with the ships? The first panel was that over here?
Do you mean this one, Phil? Yeah,
this one here from FF48. Man, I'm reading like 15 comics a day. Like today, I read the entire Wonder Woman 77 Volume 1 graphic novel.
Phil, would you say less of a lift and more of an homage, right? Because it's not so much a theft of an idea. It's more of a. I mean, that dedication really expresses what Byrne thought about Kirby. So I think of it as an homage rather than.
I think that's what I actually think that's what Phil means.
Yeah. Sorry, Phil.
And like all of this stuff is like, if you're saying in the beginning, Kirby's the greatest person ever and this is dedicated, blah, blah, then you know that what comes. It's like when they did what was that? Just a circle? No, Full Circle, Fantastic Four Full Circle, where Alex Ross did that Full Circle thing. That was pretty cool. And it's like literally like, yeah, it's supposed to be like a tribute to Fantastic Four. Marvel didn't even produce that. I don't know. It was like some independent thing. This is crazy. Look at this. Look at these guys.
Kaiju.
I was just gonna say it's the friggin' it's the Gargantuas or something.
It's Tundra.
Tundra. From what? Yeah, Tundra.
Alpha Flight. Alpha Flight 1. Tundra.
Yeah. I have
kind of reminds me. I forget the issue, but there's think of Fantastic Four where Molecule Man takes skyscrapers and like makes them like humanoid.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that.
Now look how big these guys are. They're just as big. There's all the little guys floating around. So he's making these big, huge guys. Here they come. So you know what? I never thought we would have a physical, like, I never thought like it'd get physical with actual Galactus getting in there. Like, okay, so he blasts them, but there's more of them. And this is pretty awesome. It's like, what the heck? Weakened by his hunger, Galactus staggers before the assault, staggers.
And we almost see if he's wearing undies or not.
Yeah.
Or if he's gone full Scotsman.
Uh-oh, he's falling. But the victory, if such it may be called, is a thing too short-lived to be of consequence. Oh yeah, Silver Surfer came in for the save. It's like a wrestling match.
Look at that pose, though. Blasting with one hand, other hand up for balance. Boom. Okay, sound effect, J-Man. Because there's some pretty heavy blasts there.
Well, he shoots more like energy, right? It's not really a force blast. It's an energy.
Cosmic.
Power cosmic, yeah. So I'm trying to think. I always go by this. Yeah. I was
going to have a sound, though. It's got to have a sound.
It's got a sound. So, yes, it's like something like that. I always think of the TSR role-playing game. where they had force, energy, and everything. It tells you whatever. That's where I learned all that stuff because that game was awesome. It tell you all their powers and what they do.
Yeah,
That's where I learned it was force with Cyclops. Like people always say he has laser eyes, but
it's not.
Yeah,
it's not, right? It's not.
It's a concussion ray. I think that's what they call it. Concussion beam. Yeah.
I totally I pretty much interpret every character through the rules in the role playing game.
Yes.
And I do the same thing with the DC characters and the DC heroes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, Clyde, because you're a big D&D guy, and it's like those books. I literally did. I stopped playing the game whenever I stopped playing it, but I kept it because I kept the game. But I actually kept the books just to go through and read their powers and like, oh yeah, what did they actually do?
And that
I played those in the 80s too. Gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the original game came out right around the time that the Marvel Handbook of the Marvel Universe was being published. So I think that
84.
Yeah, right around there. So I think it very much lines up with the stats of the game and what the characters can do.
Oh, there you go, Michael Ironside. Vote for Michael Ironside. Another idea for stream. I love Invaders. Yes, I actually love Invaders. And the Iron Maiden. So I could play the Invaders Iron Maiden song and then get a copyright strike, but it'll still be cool because it'll sound cool. All right. So here comes Surfer for the save. This is
two hands.
The double hander.
Two hands.
Yeah.
He's getting serious now. It's two hands.
Yeah, this is all fun and games, but now it's like, okay, F this. I gotta end this. He's like blasting all this crap. What does this get out of here? Blasting all this stuff away. Meanwhile, like goes back to tinkering. All right, so back to Highfather here now.
Key bit of exposition there.
Yeah, where are we at here?
There's a really key bit of exposition just below Galactus's face there. That one panel. That tiny little box below Galactus.
Oh yes, right. Yeah, this is the
very key bit of exposition there.
Yeah, he looks upon the Silver Surfer and knows the bold vow of his herald will not always hold. And this is so Surfer doesn't in this story. Surfer doesn't know who he is, or he doesn't know any of that. Nornrad, Shalabal, and Zenla. He doesn't know any of those things. Now Kirby never. I did not know this. This is that Kirby didn't have that. That's the Stan Lee series that introduced all of that, which is something I didn't know until I started reading those Fantastic Four issues for the Friday streams. And you're like, hey, where's all that? And I can't remember if I asked Sean or I think maybe Clobby was there when I was there. And I was like, where is all that stuff? And it's like, no, that's not even in here. So that's post Kirby, right? Having all of that origin. It's a direct homage. Yeah, so there you go. Philip is saying it's a homage. There you go.
Yeah. Well
Page
said,
19. Phil. Boom. Fact check. Oh yeah, Phil? If you're so good, tell me what issue and what page. Okay, 48. Number 48. Boom. How do you like that? So yes, so this is the foreshadowing that Surfer is going to eventually break his vow, and then he'll have 400 heralds after that. And he even has a herald called Harold. No, I'm just joking. There should have been a herald whose name was Harold. Okay, back to Highfather. Yeah, what's Highfather doing all of this? It's like, okay, so Highfather.
No need for Ryan to say anything. Look at the expression of Ryan's face. Says it all.
Here. Yeah, right here. It's like, it's an offense to the Warrior's code, and he like suits up, puts the big helmet on. Though Darkseid be our most bitter enemy, Orion, if he is to be destroyed, it must not be because we did nothing. That is badass. Gets on his little contraption thingy here. They're like, "Hi, Father. What do we do? What are we to do?" Like, there's nothing we can do, Light Ray. Orion has made his decision. It's like, well, he's gonna go and do cool stuff here. Flies over. Okay. Oh man, now you've been waiting for this one. They mentioned the Black Racer, which is awesome. Oh yeah, this is great. Look at this. So he just basically just charged him. Like, screw it.
Yeah. And as much as I like this, I do think the Silver Surfer should be more powerful than Orion, but I think it should have been a little closer than they kind of depicted here. Orion shown as really not being any kind of match for him.
Mm-hmm. You think it should have been? You think Orion should have been more powerful than is shown?
Yeah, a little closer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he should have been able to defeat Orion as easily as he does.
Right. Yeah, this is a tough one. Like, you can't tell DC and Marvel. DC always has. It always felt like DC guys were really, really strong to their counterparts, but then Silver Surfer's like really. I don't know. It's tough. Like, Silver Surfer's also crazy.
The thing is that Darkseid, I mean, we'll get to it later, but Darkseid pretty much deals with Surfer pretty easily. And supposedly Darkseid and Orion are supposed to be pretty close in terms of power.
Right.
Well,
yeah, did you
we'll see how that plays out though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll get to that, but see how it plays out, especially with Galactus' response.
Yeah, it's always tough when there's DC versus Marvel because you don't really have any comparisons. Like, yeah, but what you just said, Classic, like Darkseid and Orion are pretty equal. But then if
just
Darkseid,
a moment.
Yeah. This is that game where it's like, if Darkseid can defeat Silver Surfer, and Orion can't defeat Silver Surfer, then how is Orion able to stand up to Darkseid? Right? It's like, you play that as a kid, right? Like, wait a minute, Hulk beat this guy, right? Oh, what do we got there?
Gosh, it will be great. It will be great if we could compare the power levels of the various characters, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
Gosh, it would.
Well, Superman beats everybody, and I don't care what that book says.
Well, no, he absolutely does.
You'd be fairly pleased, I think. The way he's
the dials went up to 11.
Oh, there you go.
Boom. Sorry, fans of Thor. I'm really sorry.
No way, Thor. I like Thor, but there's no way. Like, I mean, Superman is like way better. Also, I go by like Superman was. Well, I guess Superman wasn't created before Thor, since Thor is a mythological character. But the idea of him being a hero is, Superman will beat Thor, Hulk. Yeah.
I don't like. I mean, what's happened with Thor in the last 20 years? I mean, I lost track of what version of Thor we've got. It's like King, Rune, Odin, Force, Thor, and all those, unworthy Thor. All those make him actually less interesting. That Kirby got the concept right the first time, right? Thor is quite a simple character, but has tremendous charm and interest as that simple character. You don't need to revise Thor. You don't need. It wasn't necessary, right? I got no problem with Lady Thor as a separate character, but Thor, the main Thor is well, it's just me. It's
the real Thor, yeah. Remy Q, hey, how's it going, man? Thanks so much for dropping in. Yeah, this is I agree with you. You know what the thing is? I don't think that they know how to write simple, charming, interesting characters without relying on some twist to it. This is why they keep twisting up. This is why Marvel is a bit broken. They keep twisting. The only Marvel comic I collect right now at all is Wolverine, and that's because worst case scenario, Wolverine is going to pop his claws and fight someone. Like, no, so I'm just reading it for like fun factor of Wolverine fighting guys. Everything else, and they always have to do some kind of spin or twist. Oh, now it's this and now it's that. It's like, okay, now that you put this spin on it, what is the character going to be like? Oh, nothing. It's right. This is the problem. They think the twist is the character. Like, oh, now Thor is Jane Foster. Okay, cool. So what about Jane Foster? Oh, that's it. That's the idea. She's just, okay, but then what happens? Well, nothing. I just told you. Like, that's not an idea. Like, okay, it's going to be Donald Blake's gone, and now it's going to be Beta Ray Bill. Okay, awesome. That character is cool though. But like,
he's Beta Ray Bill is very cool.
Yeah, he's a cool character, but you know what I'm saying? It's like they'll put they've got Red Hulk, and like, what's the difference? Like, why is Red Hulk there? Like, he's just there to be red, I guess. I don't know. Purple. Yeah. Why didn't they do Purple Hulk? They're gonna do the whole spectrum of colors of Hulk.
Oh God, I hated that in the Green Lantern. The whole all the
Oh,
different
the
colors.
different colors or whatever. I've read
Well,
I've read 24 issues of Green Lantern, and they're the Grant Morrison ones that just came out not too long ago. That's it. I've read 0 Green Lantern comics. I don't know anything about Green Lantern. I've read the most Green Lantern I've read is Alan Scott. I read the first like 20 issues of his appearance from All American, and I've read like the first 3 or 4 of his solo series of Alan Scott. I've read like Hal Jordan. I've read when Grant Morrison did 24 issues just I don't know how many years ago, whatever it was called season 1 and season 2. I've read
about
those
4 years ago, I think.
4 years ago. That's all I've read. But that was they said that was a homage to the Silver Age Green Lantern, but I can't say for sure because I've read nothing.
Well,
What do we all think
Hal is the Silver Age version. He's
Yes, that I know that. I know that, yeah.
What do we all think of Grant Morrison? That's a whole stream in itself. But
Doom Patrol, I think was the first time. I think that was the first time I was introduced to Grant Morrison, or that's the first time I noticed the name. So I liked that Doom Patrol a lot. I thought that was pretty neat. It was weird.
like a lot of the British writers, I certainly think he is tremendously talented, and he's done some absolutely brilliant work. But also, like the British writers, I don't know, a lot of Brit writers, there's a nihilism to their work that I'm not a fan of. But, and I go back and forth on some of their stuff, but overall, Grant Morrison's just kind of a creative genius, I think, in a lot of ways. Not everything
All-Star
he does
Superman.
is my taste, though.
Oh shit, that's the best.
All-Star Superman.
His Justice League run, I really love too.
Yeah, same. When he gets it right, he gets it really, really right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he can do that. I mean, it's just like with Alan Moore. He can absolutely do escapist, sort of fun, lighthearted work if he wants to do that, But they often tend to go off in these other directions. And I'm not saying that it's bad necessarily. It's just stuff that's not to my taste a lot of the time.
Well, the Invisibles must have been the inspiration for the Matrix films. Just
I haven't
saying.
read that. Yeah, it's Grant Morrison. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd like it or not, Jay. I don't know if you'd enjoy the Invisibles or not.
I have no. If it's on this website, I will check it out. I was supposed to go to a comic show tomorrow, and I realized that it was a toy show, not a comic show. It's the same location, and they usually do a toy show and a comic show at the same time. But this time they're doing the full toy show, and then they're doing the full comic show a month later. I was like, damn it! So Sean messaged me. He's like, we're not going tomorrow. It's a toy show. I was like, oh, I have enough toys. I can't buy any more. I just bought my Sentinel Prime toy today, so I can't buy any more toys. I limit myself. All right, Orion versus Silver Surfer continuing. Whoosh. So now we've got climbing up this thing here. Here comes Surfer. He jumps down, whoosh, grabs him. Can you even grip Silver Surfer? I feel like it'd be shiny, and it's
Look at that up. That is a devastating uppercut there. Look at that full elbow back. What
that's
sound
a Mortal
effect for that
Kombat.
uppercut, J-Man? Yeah. What sound effect for that uppercut, J-Man?
It's kind of a minor thing, but I would point out that Orion's helmet, it's that purple color. It's usually his helmet is kind of a grayish color.
Yeah, it's like silverish, right?
The same color as the belt he's wearing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you guys want to say anything when I'm scrolling the comic, I can't see you, so just interrupt me. Like this is this is your guys. You guys want to, so if you want to read something, read it. Interrupt me, whatever. I can't see you, so I can when I'm scrolling like this, I can only see the comic and the chat. I can't see you guys at all because I've split it that way. So just talk over me, and then I'll know to shut up because I want you guys to go ahead.
You're right, classic. That Surfer dispatches Orion pretty. I'm not going to say easily, but without too much fuss. There's no question that Orion is a serious challenge for him. He's not. And he hasn't had the worst smackdown yet. It's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming.
Do you know, classic? If you look at some of the Surfer's facial expressions, I see a bit of Bill Willingham in there. Some of Willingham's art has similar. When you see him draw characters who have blank eyes, you got he almost has a sort of similar style to Byrne.
Yeah, some of Willingham's early art and Byrne's early art, they have a lot of similarities. You know, his early stuff on elementals,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
I was on a stream talking about elementals a couple of weeks ago with this guy John Longbox. Great
Yes.
guy. Jay, you got to stream with him sometime, Jay. He's very passionate about his comics and other things and superhero role playing games and whatnot. But
I
his
watched some
knowledge is
of his
fantastic.
streams. Yeah, I just watched some of his streams. I messaged him as well. So we're just trying to figure something out.
Yeah, he interviewed Jim Shooter.
Yeah, that's insane.
And Mark Miller in the last couple months. Jim Shooter, right?
Yeah, that's insane.
It's a fantastic stream hearing from Jim Shooter about stuff. I shouldn't be promoting other people's stuff. Stick with Jay, guys. Jay's the best.
You can promote it out there.
I would never have watched. I wouldn't have taken Enterprise seriously had I not listened to Jay. And I now am a huge fan of Star Trek Enterprise.
Yes,
I've rewatched the whole thing twice now.
Oh wow! And season 4 for me is right back on track. We're back to overall. I love all of Enterprise. I just think season 3 is just too long on this one thing. That's what it boils down to. But season 4, they do a lot of those 3-parters or 2-parters or that kind of worked. Like
it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate that show ended right when it was really, really getting good and really taking.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but the finale, I'm never watching again.
That finale.
It's so puke. It's like, what is the story? The pre-finale episode where he has that big speech, and it's like, we're going to continue on and we're going to form the beginnings of the Federation. It's like this big speech, and everyone's there. They're all lined up, and it's all this big thing. And then the next episode's like Riker's farting around in the holodeck room. I'm like, this is like and then what did he learn? I don't even understand he's like, now I know what I'm going to say about the Pegasus. Who cares? What does this have to do with the finale of Enterprise?
Yeah.
Okay, but would you have been okay with it if a certain character death had not happened? If you could go back in time and change that so a certain character did not die,
right?
Would you be a bit more okay with that episode?
Not for the ending. I would be okay with the episode as a generic episode, right? But not as the finale. The finale that we had previous, that was fine. It concluded that story. It was all good. Peter Weller was badass in that. That was a great, I was thinking, wow, this is a great ending. And I remember thinking, like, I remember when I watched this last, I didn't like the last episode, but this is pretty good. I was like, well, there's one more. I was like, well, okay. And like, oh, now I remember. It sucks.
Well, it's an epilogue, right?
It's an epilogue. But, and that the character in question is my favorite character in Enterprise. And it's a bunch of BS. And he dies.
I think he's everyone's favorite character, to be honest.
Yeah. And it's the Han Solo death. It's
no, it's not. He sacrifices himself. He sacrifices himself to save Archer. Right?
Yeah, but he could have done so many things. What's worse? Phil is asking, which is a modern Thor. I haven't read any modern Thor comics or Taika Waititi. Well,
tricky. That's a tough question.
See, here's the thing: Thor Ragnarok as a Thor film sucks because Thor sucks in it. He's a goof, right? And that's the beginning of the goofiness. But the visuals are Jack Kirby's world come to life. So I sat in the theater in IMAX, and Sean and I were so perplexed. I was like, this is like a Jack Kirby. This is the only MCU movie that's a Jack Kirby visual movie with all these crazy things, all the guards. Like I bought the art book.
Grandmaster's Palace.
Yeah. Exactly. I bought the art book. Every character design, it's a Kirby design. All the guards, his like minions, guys in the background, and I was like, wow. But they ruined Valkyrie. I love Valkyrie in Defenders. I hated this character in this movie. I like that actress from Creed. She's a great actress in Creed, and she's just so garbage. I don't know why she's so garbage in this movie, because she's not garbage in the Creed movies, but she's garbage as this character. It's not the real Valkyrie. I don't care what anyone says. Thor's a stupid goof in this. What the hell? So I don't know, but visually it's bloody amazing. And then the next one after that's the worst movie, but that's my take.
I don't mind. I actually like Ragnarok. I like that Thor, I mean, he's a little goofy, but he didn't take himself that seriously. And he's still the hero, right?
That's true.
He makes the choices that hero makes. Yeah. I mean, that's what heroes do speech is a little silly, And Surtur, like I say, visually, I never thought we would get Surtur looking as incredibly imposing as he was. He looked amazing, and
Hela was badass.
Oh yeah, and people are like, oh well, his sister beat him up. It's like, yeah, but Hela in the comics is unbelievably powerful. She cursed Thor with brittle bones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Hela is meant to be a threat that Thor cannot just overcome with physical force, right? So I like that, and I thought that movie did a lot more good than bad. I didn't like Valkyrie as a character. I thought the Doctor Strange bit was just ridiculous. Anthony Hopkins, Odin got a decent ending. So there were some things that weren't so great, but there was a lot I liked about it. Carl Urban made an appearance. He was great as Scourge, I thought.
Carl Urban's the best in everything ever.
Yeah.
Classic, what did you think of? Did you like Thor Ragnarok? Okay, bottom line is I bought the soundtrack for Thor Ragnarok. I own it on 4K. I love Thor Ragnarok.
Zeppelin.
And I can ignore the. Yeah, I bought all the. Led Zeppelin. Yeah, that's all.
Led Zeppelin, favorite band. Yeah, Immigrant Song. Come on.
I'm kind of similar to you guys, I think. I mean, overall, I enjoyed the movie, but I do have issues with it. The main thing that bugs me is that it's basically about the downfall of Asgard, and yet it's, kind of handled in this sort of offhand, sort of goofy way,
Right.
Yeah, that's the worst part about Taika, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like that joke at the end, no, the Russians are gone, bro. That stuff that Waititi does. I mean, he's a local legend here where I live, because I live in Porirua, which is near Wellington, right? Carl Urban's from Wellington, Taika Waititi's from Wellington, Anthony Starr, Banshee, Homelander.
Yeah, he's great.
Wellington,
yeah,
Wellington. So, so underrated. Amazing that The Boys is headlined by two Kiwis. New Zealand.
I watched 2 seasons of The Boys. This is not a lie, and then we're going to get back to the comic. This is going to sound stupid, but I watched 2 seasons of I've seen all of The Boys. So after 2 seasons of The Boys, like, I really like this Homelander guy. This guy's a very compelling actor. And I'm like, he looks familiar. I Googled him, and it's like Banshee. I was like, I watched I watched all of Banshee already before seeing The Boys. I was like, who is he in Banshee? Oh, he's the main guy. I'm like, what? My mind was blown. I watched I don't know how many seasons Banshee was. I watched the entire thing.
4.
And I watched all 4 seasons of Banshee before seeing The Boys. I didn't realize that the star of Banshee is Homelander. I'm like, holy crap.
He's a great actor. He should be a leading man in films. He's that good.
He is so good. Yeah, and he is a stinking piece of garbage as Homelander. I despise his guts, but I can't take my eyes off of him. I can't like when he's on, he's so compelling. I'm like,
he's really the only reason. That performance is the only reason I'd ever watch. I don't watch that program much, but it's the only reason to see it. It's just how evil, or like how crazy will he be, at any moment. Like I think Critical Drinker said it, that Starr's performance is such that you think that Homelander is so unpredictable. At any moment, he could do anything.
Yep, I've
kill
said
someone,
that,
blow up a building, or give someone a pat in the back. You just don't know.
You don't know. Yeah.
Oh, and the tension it creates. Oh, it's brilliant. Sorry, back to the comic.
All right.
Darkseid smirking there.
Smart. Yeah, he's not. What, me worry? He's like, no, I'm good.
He's got a plan.
Yeah, there's plans within plans within plans, as they say in.
Okay, a plan so cunning. A plan so cunning he could put a tail in it and call it a weasel.
So here's the backstory now of what's his face, Norrin Rad.
Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Early hair loss.
Yeah. He's got the Professor X hairdo, but she still loves him. Galactus comes here and he's like, okay, listen, I've got an opening, got a job opportunity for you. If you take the job, one of the perks is we're not going to destroy your home world. I'm not going to eat your people. I mean, can you say no? I don't understand. Like, no, I'm good. And then it's like, but then you're dead. Like, so it's basically, you're forced. And they say, is it in this one, or do I just know this? I can't remember if it was actually specified, but this place is super intelligent. Like it's like, you know, it's really advanced and it's got amazing, like everything is great about it, right? Like
Zenla.
yeah, Zenlaw. Was it here or was it somewhere? What was it? One of the
I don't
maybe
know.
in what? It may have been in one of the Silver Surfer comics where it's like,
Yeah,
you know, it's
probably.
yeah, it's like this planet is like the best. It's like the poetry's amazing and the art's amazing and you know all this. It's this paradise planet. They do say paradise here, but
Yeah, it's
they
kind of like
explain it
New
better.
Genesis. It's like this sort of high-tech utopia.
You're right. And then
Kirby
Galactus came.
definitely likes those.
Sorry.
I say Kirby likes those sort of high-tech
Uh,
utopias because, like, New Genesis is like that. You
right.
know, the Eternals, their society is like
Mhm.
that. Even
Inhumans?
the Inhumans are kind of like that. Yeah.
Right. All right. So the plan here is to give Surfer his memories back of what it was like before Galactus BG no BG or whatever. And that should like you know get him to stop fighting for him. Basically, I'm guessing that's his plan here. The transformed Nornrad was true to his word. It's like, okay, yep, time and again he led Galactus to lush verdant worlds. Yeah, okay, fine. So this is just showing how he was his herald.
Now you've got to do some sound effects on this page, my friend.
There's like a lot here. So okay, so Orion, you thought he was down for the count. Now we've got massive battles here. So these are Darkseid's giant, you know, Marshmallow Man guys, but like, and he's like, and then it's like he just really nailed this guy badly from behind. Oh, come on. But what are you gonna do? It's like
But look what he says. Let the annoyance end now.
no, yeah.
What's the sound effect for that one? Look what's happening to Orion. Like
It's like I mean, yeah, I mean, this is a great page. He's just getting destroyed. It's in his helmet too. Look at that. It's like I don't know. It's like
oh, and look at the next panel though, where like the Surfer almost looks evil there.
yeah. This is good. So
That's almost a
down.
villain pose.
Yeah, Darkseid's gonna come in. This is like a wrestling match. It's like, oh my god, it's Darkseid. He's here.
That's Darkseid's music.
Yeah, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. It's like, oh my god, it's Darkseid.
Let's take a moment though. Let's take a moment. The Surfer is about to kill Orion.
Right.
He is about to straight up kill him.
Yeah.
How often do we see the Silver Surfer doing something like that in a story?
That is crazy. Farewell in the eternal night of death. Perhaps you will find peace. What? Oh, out of nowhere. Only a fool makes speeches on the battlefield, Surfer. Oh, that was rude. You didn't have to be rude about it, Darkseid. Just put the thing on him. Save your comments too.
Look at Orion. Look at him, Orion. He is messed up.
Yeah, I feel like he, poor Orion. He's always trying to fight the good fight, and he's just getting beat up. He got a couple of licks in, I guess, but they didn't really damage him that much. It's just like, yeah, it's definitely Silver Surfer definitely beat Orion. I guess they're just going by popularity too. I find a lot of these when people say online, they say versus. It's really they're saying who's the more popular character because it's like who would win, like I don't know, Wolverine and then they pick some other guy like Thor or something. It's like Wolverine. It's like okay, so you're just saying you like Wolverine better, right? Like,
but Orion is dying. He's dying.
Yeah, he's down.
Look who shows up at the bottom of the page.
Yes. Oh my god, I was so okay. So I gotta tell you,
he's literally dying.
I did not think this was going to happen. I was super excited when this happened, but hold on, we're going to save that for just a sec. But yeah, he puts this contraption on him. So this is going to be the giving your memories back machine. I don't know what you want to call it. Anyways, okay, so that's there, and then the mother box. Oh my god! I was like, holy shit! Here we go. Yeah. Oh man, the black racer.
And I don't know why, but it just tickles me the Black Racer and the Silver Surfer meeting because
yes,
one's on a surfboard, the other's on skis, and I don't know. I mean, who else but Kirby would think of this?
Yeah. Oh, these guys are both awesome. Yeah, this is so good. No, I do not understand the flood of emotion which fills my being. And then here comes the Black Racer. Stay your hand, Reaper. I would not see Orion die this day. It's like, oh, okay, hold on. Oh. wait a minute here.
Does a change of mind quick.
Yeah. Go back to the crackle. Go back to the crackle that he came. Ping, 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 ping. There's more mother boxing. So now look at this shadow here.
The mother box, the plot armor box.
The plot armor box, yeah. Yeah, whatever. It's like you can't have a mother box in the DC role playing game. It'd be too overpowerful. I never had the DC role playing game, but it's probably you probably can't use it.
They have mother boxes in the game, but I think I don't know. They're not going to be that powerful. The mother box, it's a plot device, and it just kind of does whatever the story needs it to do.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we're used to it by now. So here's Dark. So now we get actually like a better like confrontation here. So Surfer now is like, it's like it all comes back to me. I remember Zenla. I remember Shalabal.
Look at the anguish. The anguish.
It's like I just saw all episodes of the Acolyte. No, okay. Okay. Oh man, you Surfer. You turncoat here. You turned. This is like the turning to a face. The face turn here of Silver Surfer. Blasts Galactus. But I mean, really, like that which Galactus gives, so may Galactus take away. He's just falling down. And then Batman shows up. No, it's not Batman. It's just shadowing. You have done nothing to spare your world. No? Oh no, the Silver Surfer's watching too many. He's watching Rings of Power, yeah. Well, he's the only one. Nobody else is watching it.
Now this is going to be a mighty sound effect.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Omega, right? So okay, like, but I feel like it would be more. See, it's just like a beam, right? So it's not like just like it's more like it's more like a like a very focused, like singular attack. So I actually think the sound. If I was doing it, if I was doing it for a movie, I would actually make it more like piercing and like sharp, like a sharp like a long sharp sound, like a piercing one. Because I don't think it's just like a big, huge super hit, like like when what's his name? Like this was just like a big hit. This one's not that. This one's not that big, I think. But holy crap! It nailed him pretty damn good.
Well, till we get to the next page.
Yeah, hold on a second. Oh, your power is great, Master of Apocalypse. But if in this you think you see a weakness in Galactus, you see no weakness but your own. Oh man, now this is a big one.
Is that all you got?
Yeah. That's it? And look, he just like nailed everything. Like this entire.
You know what that expression says? That expression on Galactus' face says, "My turn."
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so, so he's restoring them pretty much here, right?
Foreshadowing too.
What?
Alas, this was not the time, but when it comes at last, terrible shall be my punishment. From the day I accepted him as my herald, I have known a time would come when he would turn on me.
Yeah. So he knows it's not now, but it's going to happen. So this is definitely before the Fantastic Four appearance. Master, what happened? I it's like, don't worry, I've made you forget the Acolyte series and Rings of Power. Do not trouble yourself, my herald. What has lately transpired is of no present concern to you. Okay. Thanks, man. Can Can I get that vacation I've been asking for? I require now only that you restrain these godlings long enough that I may complete my task. Ooh, now he's got the pose here, the super pose. Well, Orion of New Genesis, do you stand against me once? We got to do the Lawrence Fishburne voice. I liked the Lawrence Fishburne voice.
Yeah, no, that was well. I thought the surfer himself was actually quite well done. It wasn't perfect, but it was quite well done. I like those films. My wife likes those films.
So does mine.
2005 to 7. Yeah, because a lot of the.
I like them too.
I think they got a lot of the dynamics right. The dynamics between Ben and Johnny, I think they got right. I know Clobby didn't like Michael Chiklis as the Thing, but I think he captured the character, and that him and Chris Evans captured the nature of the relationship between Johnny and Ben. And Jessica Alba was pretty to look at, and Ewan Griffith is Welsh, so of course he gets my vote.
Yeah,
no, I like those.
Movies are pretty solid. I think I'm not, I think they kind of fumbled with Doom, Doctor Doom. I don't think they handled him that well. But ironically, he was, at least so far, the best Doom we've gotten in live action.
What does that say?
And
what does that say?
Depending on how they handle it going forward. But
he was awful. He's terribly miscast.
I thought he was okay as Victor before the change. Right. I thought he actually was good. What's that actor's name? I forget.
Julie McMahon. He's Australian.
Yeah. I thought he was good as Victor before the change, but he just didn't have the personality or the bombast that
the presence
Doom is supposed to, that Doom is supposed to have.
Yeah, I like both those movies as movies. So there's that. Then we put them aside. As Fantastic Four representations, the Fantastic Four themselves are good, but Doom is not good and Galactus is ruined. So it's weird. It's like Silver Surfer. When I saw that in the trailer, I was like, oh shit, yeah, that looks pretty damn good. And his voice was good. And they've got, what's his name? That skinny guy who plays all the skinny people.
Doug Jones.
Doug Jones. Yeah. I was like, well, this is just coming all together. And then I would have rather just not even have Galactus. Don't even show it. Save it for the third movie, get a bigger budget and show the proper Galactus. But, they had this cloud thing. I was like, oh God, I hope that's not it. And I'm like, oh dear, what happened? Because part 2, up until the last 15 minutes, I was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty kind of cool. Doom was still not that good, but they didn't use him as much. He's just kind of there to annoy them or whatever. And then he gets the powers of the surfer powers. So he was like Surfer Doom. That was kind of neat. And then you had sort of like Super Skrull Johnny sort of fighting him. I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, they had some classic Fantastic Four stuff in there. Doom stealing Surfer's powers, the powers getting switched around. Stuff like
Yeah. And them, constantly throwing crap at each other and like what you're saying are with the fighting each other and a poking
the family dynamic. Because that I reckon is the absolute essence of Fantastic Four, is that they are a family. And I'll tell you, during the 70s and early 80s, X-Men had the same, and that's what I think made it so successful, was a family dynamic when written properly sells. People identify with that, right? And they got that right in the films.
Yeah, those two movies, all of the Fantastic Four parts are spot on. That entire first thing and then Reed's always working. She's like, hello, Susan. I'm like, that's literally happening. Well, every Friday we're doing these. I'm like, yep, that's in that movie. It's like they had it all. It's just the villains weren't that good. I guess they didn't think about. They just thought, who cares about the villains? We'll just have the Fantastic Four. It's like, yeah, but the villain, especially Doctor Doom, who's such a super mega, ultra classic, best Marvel villain. Almost you could almost say he's the best Marvel.
Oh, there's fighting words there. Who is the best Marvel villain of all time?
I have no idea. I don't know. Is it Star Wars? That's Penny from. I played that clip.
Are you food?
Are you food? Yeah.
Are you Star Wars?
Yeah. Are you Star Wars? Where is that? I should still have that clip here. Yeah.
I don't know, Sheldon. Are you Star Wars?
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know that Ewan Griffith's English is his second language.
Who's saying who? Sorry, who?
Well, the guy who played Mr. Fantastic is Welsh, right?
Oh.
So you wouldn't know that his English is his second language.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't tell who anyone is anymore because it's just like like Chris Evans is the only American guy. Like,
I'll send you a clip.
Yeah. That's like I mean, it's tough. Everybody's either British or something or whatever. It's like all these guys. It's like none of the heroes are American guys anymore, except for Chris Evans.
RDJ, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, Ioan Griffith did a series of movies about Horatio Hornblower.
Yeah.
That are really good. I really recommend them.
Cool. All right, let's get back. Orion getting his he's got his purpley helmet, not his silver helmet.
Do you want some more of this, Orion? Do you want some more of this?
Want some more of this? Looks like he has a mustache here. I don't know why. It looks darker. It looks like it's like mustache guy. It's the mirror. It's the Mirrorverse Silver Surfer.
Look how beat up Darkseid is at the bottom of that page.
Oh, at the bottom.
He's like, yeah, good. He's like, oh.
Well, he got nailed. That was the biggest nailing ever. Mm. Oh, but watch this though.
Yeah, and he hits him in the back.
Yep. That's like another beam. Beams him again. The battle is not ended because one combatant quits the field. Yeah. Joe Dog hated the Big Bang Theory. Me too. I still don't like it. But if I was to like it, I like the I like when it's the four guys and just Penny. That's it. The second they added anyone else, I hated it. Up until then, I thought it was amusing. I'll put it that way. I thought it was amusing. And then as soon as like Bernadette and Amy and I was like, yeah, I'm good.
I like Bernadette as a character. She's so crazy.
Yeah, no, I don't like what they're making fun of the guys, but they're losers too. The point is that Amy and all these guys, Amy and Bernadette, they're nerds in different ways, and then they're like making fun of like Sheldon and stuff. It's like, and you're cool. Like you're like, I don't like that. Like Penny never made fun of them. Oddly enough, right? That was the point. Like she's like, oh, they're kind of they're nice guys. But then when it was like, oh, it's the girls versus the guys, I'm like, yeah, I don't need this. It's like,
but the worst sin that show commits, I think it's in episode 2 or 3 of the first season, where Sheldon describes the scene from Superman the movie where he saves Lois Lane and describes it wrong.
Oh, did he describe it? I don't remember. There's that
is an egregious sin. There are very few sins in comic book fan world that are as egregious as that.
They also did that Raiders of the Lost Ark thing, which is so stupid and wrong anyways. It's like, oh, he didn't even need to be there. Then the Nazis would have the Ark, you dumbass. It's like once Belloc doesn't respond back, Adolf is going to send more guys to go look for where he was. Like it's like Indiana Jones takes the Ark back. That's the whole point of it. He survives. He's smart enough to know to not look, to survive it, then take it back. They're like, oh, if he wasn't in the movie, it would have just played out normally. The Nazis would have all died. Well, yeah, but then more would have come. There's not just one group of them.
If he wasn't in the film, well, would they have got the? Well, they wouldn't. Would they? If he wasn't in the film, I don't know if they'd have acquired the amulet because they wouldn't have known to look for Marion. And if they didn't have the amulet, they wouldn't have been able to find the Well of Souls. So I don't know. I don't care what they say anyway.
I don't care what they say anyways. But I think they knew Marion. And I think they already knew about Marion without him. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they were already onto Marion before he came along. But of course, he kind of led them to her. But, it's likely they would have found her eventually.
They would have found her.
Great movie.
It's a great, well, of course, that's like one of the best movies ever. Okay. Anyways, okay. The battle is ended. It's like.
Splash page incoming.
Oh, here we go. Look at that. My machine is finished. Now let Galactus feed. Hey, it's like he's creating his.
It is Michael Ironside. It is Michael Ironside. See,
yeah, yes, you're right. Yeah, yeah. The energy.
What's going on,
What's going on? Look, it's not working.
It means you can shit in my mouth.
You love that one, eh? Have you seen that movie? Diener '89 just came out, which is a prequel to those.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, I'll play. I'll play it for you. Hold on. Where does it go? Clobby absolutely loved that. That movie has so many great lines. Both movies, and even the Diener movies get to. Hold on a second. Where's the? Where is it? Oh, here we go.
I mean, what does that say about me?
I don't know. What does it say?
It says you can shit in my mouth.
Is that like a found footage movie?
It's a documentary, but it's fake. It's a mockumentary. It's called Fubar, and it's two guys, and then this is the second one. Here's a clip from the second one.
Know that we both know that we don't know what we're doing. Knowledge of non-knowledge is power.
No, the guy's like, I don't know what we're doing, and you don't know what. So we both don't know what we're doing. He's like, well, that's good because knowledge of non-knowledge is. I was by myself. The prequel of that just came out a month ago or whatever. I saw it in the theater by myself. They ran it just for me. I watched it alone. I'm like, I don't care. I'm here watching this. It's Canadian. It's Canadian goodness. I don't care I don't care if it doesn't do well enough. I love it. Will Sasso is in the prequel of it. Anyways, I could play clips from that. I could just play the entire movie. Which part of Wales are you from? Phil is asking.
Well, originally, southeast Wales. So a very, very tiny place called, family's from Pontlottyn, which is a very small place. But we left Wales for Canada when I was quite young, and I left Canada for New Zealand when I was not all that old. So, well, it was in my early 20s. So, yeah, originally from Pontlottyn. Pontlottyn, it's in the Rhymney Valley. It's really tiny, tiny place. Really blink and you'll miss it. About 5 minutes south of Rhymney. That meant nothing to nobody.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
No. Anyway, thanks, Phil.
Here, I'll do.
Thank you for asking, Phil.
This is so random, but I will put this on because there's the Fubar channel has both movies for free. You can just watch them for free. They're both on there. I'm sure I'll share them. I'll share them if anybody wants them. If anybody wants to see them, here's Fubar Part 2. There you go. That's the official channel. The guy just put them on there. So there you go. They're both on there. Okay. So let's close the poll up. The poll. Okay. So 16 votes. We have who wins? Darkseid 25%, Galactus 38%, tie 12%, no one 25%. I'm ending it because this is we're about to end it up here. Oh, what happened? Why didn't? 1 second here. Okay, there you go. Okay. All right, guys. Here. So he's like, what's going on? So he built his machine. So in your mind, did Galactus win because the machine got built?
Well, I think Galactus showed that had it come to a physical contest of power between him and Darkseid, one-on-one, he would have crushed Darkseid. But in terms of his objective, which was to sustain himself, ultimately he failed. So Galactus won the battle, but lost the war.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is great. Look into my eyes, Galactus. Look deep as only you can look. It's like, do you not see in the shriveled thing that dwells at the center of my being a shadowed mirror of your own tortured soul? That's awesome. You do what you do because you must, because there is a place and purpose for you, and you cannot deny it. So too must Darkseid do what he must do. We fancy ourselves the masters, Galactus, but we are not. It's like, yes, we are prisoners of our own natures. You fought to preserve this world for no greater reason than it is yours. So basically, there is nothing to drain.
Right.
Like, there is no life essence or whatever to drain from Apocalypse. So like Galactus didn't really win. Like, and Darkseid just fought to fight. It's like Darkseid could have just said, okay, here, set up your machine, take it easy, buddy. And he sets up, it's like, yeah, there's nothing here. See ya. It's like, oh, okay. He just kind of fought to fight, right? Not just to fight to protect what was his. And that's it. It's like, all right, well, yeah. Did they ever? So I read this a while, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I don't remember all the exact details. I did write a bunch of notes, and we can talk about some stuff if you want to mention some things. But did they say why? Like they were able to hide New Genesis, or what? How did that happen? I can't remember.
That's Light Ray, isn't it? Like Father asks Light Ray to do that because Light Ray can manipulate light, and he says to him, "This is a task." It's on this page. It's back here. This is a task. You of all the gods of New Genesis, only you of all the gods of New Genesis can undertake. He says to Light Ray. So my take is that Light Ray is creating the illusion that New Genesis is just a star. And Galactus, or it's not Galactus, Darkseid says on that last page there, Darkseid says, hey, New Genesis. And he said, Darkseid says, is my prize for taking Darkseid, not his. So right. Darkseid's not going to rat them out.
Yeah.
The Surfer is obviously fooled by the illusion, so they just move on.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so it was Light Ray that did it. And then he hit it. Yeah, hide the world. That was the source. And then I see. So this is what they do. That's why they see there's nothingness out there. They hit it. And then Silver Surfer comes and then doesn't see it and then just sees Apocalypse.
Well, they believe it's a star. They think it's just a star. Right. But it is not.
Yes. Yeah, and of course, he's not going to rat them out because he wants it. Yeah, so that's awesome.
Mm.
When the time is ripe, High Father, and my bartered son will fall before the hand of Darkseid. Well, maybe. And when they do, perhaps the memory of this day will add a final bitter irony to their defeat. There you go.
It ends rather abruptly.
It does, but I don't know what I was thinking about that. I don't know what I would have done. Like, how would I? Like, it's like there's nothing there to take. Okay, now what are you going to do? It's like, is Galactus? Because if Galactus continues fighting, let's say he's pissed off, says, okay, you know what? But he's just going to lose more energy. Like, I don't know what choice he has. He's just kind of like, oh, well, I guess he just spent all his energy building this thing.
Yeah, I think I found it a satisfying ending. It made sense to me that it was a dead world and there was no life energy there for Galactus to absorb. I mean, they took a chance in the first case because he was desperate, And I think one of the problems Marvel's had with Galactus is there's never been really a satisfactory explanation for, okay, what will happen if Galactus starves? Now, Reed Richards hints that Galactus is a force of nature and that he exists. He's like an anti-celestial. He exists to keep, populations within check. But to me, I always thought there should be something cataclysmic. I think in 2000 they had that if Galactus starves to death, there's a demon that gets released, a Braxis or something like that. I was doing some reading about earlier. It just looks stupid. But
that's weird.
There should be, if Galactus starves, that maybe he turns into a black hole, and instead of exploding, he just sucks in the whole universe. That there has to be a reason other than his hunger. Like his hunger has to have a consequence beyond for himself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I always thought there should be some. Go on. Sorry, Classic.
Well, I was going to say, that Fantastic Four story that you mentioned earlier. In that where his energy levels have grown really low. It kind of suggests that if he goes without feeding long enough, eventually his power is just going to diminish until, I don't know. I'm not sure how bad it could get before he would die.
What issue was that again?
That's like 240. Is it 243?
Yeah, somewhere around
Hang on. Yeah, I think it's 243 because I've got the Visionaries, which is 241 to reprinting 241
243.
250.
There you go.
243, yeah. And he shrinks, like Galactus shrinks. So I always had this my head canon is that so Galactus starves, he shrinks to nothingness, but then creates a black hole that sucks. To me, there
Kinda
should be some
collapses
consequence.
upon us.
Yeah.
That's an interesting idea. Yeah.
There should be some consequence for the universe at large that Galactus' survival is that important. Because otherwise, the question is, well, okay, we stop him feeding, he just dies, right? And it seems to be that the character deserves more than that, especially after the trial of Reed Richards' issue, where we find out that every species sees Galactus differently because he's not
Right.
he's not so much a physical being as a concept, that he's destruction, right? Well, you're the Mephitivil. Oh, sorry. Sorry
Okay.
about that. That was Welsh thing, Mephitivil. It's not so bad. It's better than Wrexham anyway. Gosh, I haven't been back to Mephitivil in a long time. Yeah.
Who's worse, Bill Nye the Science Guy? You hate his guts, okay? Or Kamala Khan is? I don't know. Kamala Khan, though, you're saying Bill Nye the person but Kamala Khan's a fake character, right? So no, I like Ms. Marvel. I don't know.
Dolph Lundgren apparently is more qualified to be called a science guy than Bill Nye.
Yes, well, Dolph Lundgren is the best. He has a.
I think they grew him in a lab. I don't think he's real. I think he's
not real, no.
I think they grew him in a lab.
My friend Owen met him just at the last at Fan Expo. I couldn't make it. I've got his autograph on a He-Man picture personalized to me, so that's good enough. And it says Jay, you have the power. So
Nice.
To Jason, you have the power, and then he wrote Dolph Lundgren. So I'm happy with that. Dolph Lundgren is the best. But yeah, so he's got more science. He has some kind of chemical engineering.
Yeah,
Chemical engineering.
Yeah, he's like a friggin' super genius.
Yeah.
What a trash
badass too.
Yeah, this is
world karate champion, 6'4", 240 pounds. Super high IQ, movie star, dated Grace Jones. It's they grew him in a lab. He's not real.
He's not a real person. I don't think he's a real person.
I've heard the story. I don't know if it's true, but when they were doing Rocky IV, like he punched.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
Stallone in the chest or something, and it threw his heart off, and he had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, I heard that one too.
That's true. So what happened was that Stallone was saying, let's go a few rounds, make it look good. Let's just do a little bit of sparring just to make it look good. And Stallone in part 3 was jacked, but just because you're all cut, that doesn't mean anything. These athletes are strong. You've seen World's Strongest Man, right? And they're all big, huge guys. They're not ripped guys. It's like you're talking to a karate champ. You're talking to I think he was heading up the Olympic team, or he was training the Olympic team or something. It's he punched him and he fell out of the ring and bruised his heart, and they had to stop filming. It's oh, sorry, I didn't.
Well, Lundgren's got to have 40 plus pounds on Stallone, just in weight and muscle. So
the weight is so important.
Whoa.
People every time you always see these dumb things where it's oh, Bruce Lee couldn't beat this guy. Okay, Bruce Lee was 90 pounds or something. Well, yeah, he's not going to beat the guy who's 130 pounds or 200 pounds. It's nonsense talk. It's why do you think they have these weight classes? I mean, 10 pounds can completely make a huge difference. You see, the categories are so close. They're 5 pound differentials, right? If you go to UFC, and actually, I don't even know how many there are. It feels there's 15 or something, but whatever it is, you see, it's bantamfly, and the difference between it is nothing. It's 5 pounds difference. And I mean, Dolph Lundgren, could Dolph Lundgren beat up Bruce Lee? I guess so. I don't know. What are you talking about?
Probably.
But Bruce Lee is martial arts because we all came to it from him, right? That doesn't take away accomplishment. These people somehow think this takes away accomplishment. Could Andre the Giant beat up Bruce Lee. Well, I don't think Bruce Lee could even injure that guy. Like, I watched sumo. I don't know if I actually watched sumo. The tournament is on right now, and I mean, these guys are enormous. Like, you can't even, could a UFC guy beat them up? Like, you can't move the guy.
There was a UFC, I think UFC 1 or 2 had a sumo wrestler, Emmanuel Yarbrough, who was 600 pounds, and he lost to a guy who was about 220, and Keith Hackney, and Hackney hit him in the head. Yarbrough dropped to one knee, and Keith Hackney broke his hand, punching him in the head, and eventually was just clubbing him with his forearm. I think it was 32 unanswered strikes to the head, and they just called it at that point. He couldn't knock him out, but he could stun him very briefly.
Right. Yeah. And again, you get someone in the head. The head's the head. Like, you can't build that up to be, you get hit in the head or you get hit in the eye. It's like your eye is your eye. You can't make it more muscular or train it to take it.
Tense your nose.
Yeah. Galactus doesn't need to eat. He wants to eat. Yeah, the big G's for glutton. Gluttonous. All right. Well, we covered that one. That's pretty good. What's let me hold on a second. Let me get everyone's. Or you don't have a channel or anything, right? Not really.
I do have a channel, but I don't do a lot of posting in English.
Okay.
So I post to practice my Welsh, so I post just ridiculous stuff. I think I put a video up of me trying to sing Faith of the Heart a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
So what do you think about the I like the theme song.
Faith of the Heart. I love Faith of the Heart. But I prefer season 1 and 2, where it's a power ballad, right? I don't like as much the sped up version with more instruments.
Right.
I really like season 1 and 2's Faith of the Heart. Yeah. Happy Batman night.
Yeah, that's right.
I went to see.
Day.
So I went to see the trilogy yesterday. I went to see, because they had it in a cinema here. I went to see Batman Begins, Dark Knight. I didn't stay for because Dark Knight's one of my all-time favorite films, right?
Yeah.
So I thought I'll leave on a good note, because The Dark Knight Rises is like. So.
Oh, I didn't think it was that bad until the fifth hour, I think, and then in the sixth hour where they changed Bane and said it was Talia, I was like, what? Like, it started off really good, and then it just unraveled itself as it went on. Why is this unraveling itself? And then at the end, you're like, Catwoman comes in and just shoots him. I'm like, hey, what is happening right now? Like, why is this so garbage?
The more often the first time I saw it was brilliant, but the more often you see it, the bigger the holes are. Like they jump out more and more, and it really you said it right. It unravels as it goes.
Yeah.
Well, part of the problem is it probably should have been 2 movies, because they tried to adopt the whole Batman having the Nightfall storyline where Batman has his back broken by Bane, but that necessitates this sort of absurd plot point where the Society of Shadows occupies the city, and then they just sort of hang around for a few months.
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
And then after hanging around for a few months, what are they going to do? Oh, we're going to set off a nuke and blow up the city. Okay, well, why didn't you do that in the beginning? Well, obviously because they need to give Batman time to heal up and fix his back and then come back and have the big rematch, you know?
Why didn't they? Yeah, they could have faded that out into another movie or something. It's just so weird. I don't understand what happened there.
My sister and my brother-in-law are chiropractors, and they cannot watch that bit of the film without just groaning. You know, you have a vertebrae protruding from your back. It must be replaced. Like, oh. Tom Conti. He was Albert Einstein in Oppenheimer. Same actor.
Oh, I liked Oppenheimer. That was good.
Yeah, terrific movie. Really enjoyed that.
That was great in IMAX. And they gave you a cell. They gave you a film. They gave you like a film strip with different film cells.
All right.
Yeah, that was cool. Like you never get. I used to get stuff all the time. I always go to the opening nights, the Thursday night pre-screenings, and all that. I used to go, and they'd always give you cool stuff. And all of a sudden that just stopped one day because they didn't care anymore. They're just like, just go see my movie, pay me money, give me a big opening weekend, and then who gives a crap if it's good, and then go right to streaming. Yeah.
Yeah, streaming's probably done that. The premieres aren't a big deal anymore because it'll be on, you know.
Yeah.
I saw anyone seen Boy Kills World?
I'm gonna watch it. It's on my queue to watch. My buddy liked it.
I think you'll enjoy it. And apparently, it only had a tiny premiere in the cinema, and I can sort of see why. But it was fun. I mean, it's nonsense.
Yep.
It's not to be taken seriously. It's ultra violent, like it's super violent, but entertaining, right?
That's the one with Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's worth your time for a bit of entertainment. Don't expect anything else out of it. It's ridiculous nonsense, but it's worth your time for entertainment's sake. If you like action films, great kung fu in it.
Yeah, we can. Classic, what do you got going on? We can stay on for a little bit if you want to talk just random stuff. But Classic, what do you got going on your channel coming up?
Well, I've been pretty busy the last couple of weeks, so I'll be streaming tomorrow evening at 7. I'm trying to get another AI trailer done. I'm working on a Herculoids trailer.
Oh man!
Ooh.
And
there you go.
Hopefully that'll be out by the end of this coming week, if not sooner. And I'll be doing one of my Trek Talk streams on Tuesday.
Awesome.
Was it you that did Thundar the Barbarian?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. I remember
that was super awesome. That was the damn best. Yeah, that was awesome. I just watched this today randomly. It's Robbie Amell, so like Stephen Amell's relative cousin or something, and the girl who plays Hellcat in the Netflix Marvel thingies. This was really good. It's a it just random. My wife and I sat down. I made some salmon. I'm like, let's watch something random. Went to Netflix, sci-fi. Ooh, okay, hit it. This was really cool. It was 90 minutes, which is a good thing. It's one of those time loop movies, so the time keeps repeating. But like as it goes on, there's actual twists in it, and each character. So the first character is Robbie, who notices that he's looping. He's like, "We're looping," and then his girlfriend starts to realize it a couple of loops in. And then the villains start to, like, halfway through the movie, the villain starts to realize, hey, we're looping. And then he's starting to try to screw them over, like, because he knows they're looping. So it's like they're trying different things. And then he starts to try to, and then the other villain, is like, hey, we're looping. So it's like, it's pretty cool. Like, I never seen it done in that way before. And it's all basically in one house. It's like one of these, it's like a low budget, all in one location. But this was like surprisingly really cool. I was like, wow, this is really neat. And it's got one of these weird endings, which this feels like it's like Canadian. All Canadian movies have weird endings or whatever, but
except Men with Brooms.
Men with Brooms, yes. Oh dear, yeah. I saw that when it came out. I haven't watched it since. That was like a while ago. But I put the FUBAR movies. If anybody wants to watch them, they're free on YouTube. And then the one I saw was the prequel was Diener 89, which is so it's like him like growing up in Canada in like the 80s or whatever. So I was alone. You could just tell it was going to be good because the font. But Will Sasso is in it, and this guy's in it. I forgot this guy's name. And he learns about heavy metal. That's what that's about. And so he's like his dad. He's adopted.
That's Kevin McDonald from Kids in the Hall.
Yeah. There you go. Yes. They pulled all the Canadian guys out. Get everybody.
Do you listen to Paul Chato at all?
Yeah, I know. Oh, we know. Yeah, I know him. I know him from his channel. And I know him from. So there's
the Frantics.
Yeah,
Frantics. Yeah.
What was the show I used to watch? It was a Commander Rick.
Yeah. Well, Prisoners of Gravity.
Prisoners of Gravity. That's it. Prisoners of Gravity. That's it. And the Commander Rick was on that.
Yeah, he did some clips of some sort of. He was sort of promoting Prisoners of Gravity, which is probably the best comics and sci-fi show ever made.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. He had the big and I remember he had the big keyboard on his lap and all that stuff, and and he had him on. He had him on. I saw that was great.
Well, the Kirby interview is like the last interview Kirby really ever did, apparently.
I remember that. It's crazy. Yeah, Prisoners of Gravity, man. Yeah, that was a cool show. There was a lot of cool. Canadian content ones. There was one called it's called Sinister Cinema. No, Sinister Cinema. Yeah, was this Canadian or? But there's a couple of these shows that they talk about. It's crazy. And they talked about like Lone Wolf and Cub, like the Shogun Assassin movies, like when they were coming out. I was like, what the heck is this? And I didn't even know what Lone Wolf and Cub was. I was like, oh my God, what is this movie? This is awesome. And then I remember getting them and like, wow. And it's like a show talking about, I'm not sure if it was Sinners or Cinema or damn, what the hell was it called? Maybe something else. But yeah, a lot of great shows like this is so random. And they're all in these like either just public access or, whatever. And then we used to have City TV on it was late great movies on City TV. And they'd play like they did Ninja, they did Revenge of the Ninja, Ninja 3: The Domination, and American Ninja back to back. I was like, this is the greatest thing. I was like, I recorded it on VHS. That was the first thing I ever recorded on, and I didn't know how to work the VCR because we had just got one, and I ended up cutting off the last 10 minutes of American Ninja. But I watched all three of those movies 100 times. One of my clips. Is that I one of the first clip. This is the second. No, the first clip I have on my stream is the countdown. This was the second clip I ever put on.
Every place you go, there's always someone who thinks he's a badass, right?
That's from American Ninja.
American Ninja. Michael Dudikoff.
Oh my God, I
saw that in the cinema actually.
What?
Yeah.
What, American Ninja in the cinema?
Yeah, I think I'm about 6 or 7 years older than you. So I'm a little bit older, so I saw it in the cinema. I probably saw it at Square One, believe it or not.
Oh my God! I live right. Square One's right there.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it. I saw Empire Strikes Back at Square One.
What? Well, I saw Diener 89 at Square One. I saw Transformers 1 Square. I still go to Square One. That's the one I go to. It's like a bigger one now. They moved it out of the mall and moved it to the side, so it's like huge now. There's the IMAX screen, so that's where I see everything. I just go across the street over here. That is so cool. But yeah, oh man, we had some great what's the adult public access, the adult public access channel? I don't know.
It's the pubic access channel.
Pubic
some witty wordplay there. Well done.
But yeah, how about classic? Do you like how about Strange Brew? You guys like Strange Brew?
Oh yeah, I love Strange Brew.
Strange Brew.
Power of the Force stopped you, hosers.
Hosers, yeah. And this is great when they I have a buddy who's my coworker. He's totally one of these guys. It's like exactly these guys. He just eats all day and eats whatever. Oh man. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I grew up watching SCTV and
SCTV.
Watching all those actors from that show, like them and John Candy and Joe Flaherty and Eugene Levy and so on.
Yeah,
is Joe Flaherty still alive? I ask because he's sort of the one guy from SCTV who didn't really crack the American market. Like he's in Happy Gilmore,
right?
Which is going back a bit, but because Eugene Levy really.
Oh, he just died April 1st.
Ah, he passed away. Okay.
Yes, I think I remember this. Yeah.
Count Floyd.
And Guy Caballero.
Yeah, Guy Caballero.
I gotta look at the shows, eh? Like these guys are like it's like 100 things. But yeah, Fubar. Let's see. There's a great. There's a great. This one of the guy who's here, Terry. You guys know Bob Odenkirk, right?
Yeah.
Better Call. So there's a great. You should check out the official channel there. So Terry, he's going on the road, so he's talking to Bret Hart and all this stuff, right? So he's in the car with Bob Odenkirk, and Bob Odenkirk is just playing himself, and he's driving, and he so Bob Odenkirk picks this guy up as like a hitchhiking thing, and they're filming it, and he's like, oh, so what are you? He's like, oh, I'm an actor. He's like, yeah. He goes, oh, I guess you do some like, wait, you're a waiter on the side and stuff like that. He's like, no, I'm pretty good. I'm in good shows and stuff. And he goes, oh, really? He goes, anything I've seen? He's like, well, I play a lawyer on TV. And he goes, what? You're a lawyer? He's like, well, no, I just play one on TV. He's like, yeah, but you can't play a lawyer unless you are a lawyer. He's like, no. He goes, you can if it's on TV. He's like, no, you can't just pretend to be a lawyer. He goes, yeah, you can if it's on TV. And he's like, well, how do you know what to say then? And he's like, well, the writers do it. He's like, oh, so the writers are lawyers. He's like, well, no, not really. He's like Rambo, for example. He's a real guy. He was a real soldier. That's why he was so good. And he's like, no, Rambo's fake. He's like, what? No. It's just this awesome conversation. It's like 5 minutes and it's just so random. And then he starts talking about welding. And he's like, oh, he goes, what if I want to play a welder? He's like, oh, you do a movie about welding where there's this welder who like is the best welder, but nobody knows about him. And he enters this contest. And then Terry, the guy's like, whoa, he goes, are you just coming up with this movie all on in your head? He's like, whoa, man, it would have taken me like, a couple of beers and a few days to come up with a story like that. He goes, how do you come up with these? He's like, well, because I've seen other movies. And it's just him. That's the entire thing of these guys just going around just doing goofy crap or whatever. But the two movies are really funny. So those are neat. And then Diener was the prequel to that. So there you go. Canadian. I'm helping these guys out promoting Foo Bar here. Everyone's gonna watch it and think it's trash.
Don't you have a quota? Because I remember the government of Canada had at some point
we do have
quotas for Canadian content. So you've got to promote Canadian content at some point.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, wasn't that supposedly why they did SCTV in the first place? Because there was a amount of American programming they had to show or something like that.
Yeah, Sean and I met. We actually were in the same university together in the same course. We just didn't know each other. But I knew Steven like 4 years before Sean. So he does it. And then I met him because through a mutual friend that I went to Rogers for Rogers Television, and Sean was the director of a show. And then I started as cameraman, then I moved up and got to audio and switching and all that stuff. So we did a live show together. And then after the show, we would talk about stuff. We had a lot in common. And then we went, and then that's how. But like that show, it's all like that entire block. Like it's just all for Canadian content, and it was called Swap Shop. You actually call in, so it's eBay. It was eBay. Like you'd call in, you'd be like, "Oh, I've got a car I want to sell." It's
we used to have. Well, I never really listened to it, but I know my father. He traveled a lot, and when he drive, there was like a radio show that was like that. People would call in and be like, I got a old washing machine, and
that's it.
I'll trade it for a hay baler, or something like that.
That's exactly what it was. It was like, I'm trying to see if there's like any clips of it anywhere. I guess there doesn't seem to be, but like it was just like the hosts are there and you'd call in and you'd say, oh, I've got it's exactly what you said, washing machine. I want like $100, and then they put the phone number up. And so Sean was a director, and you guys know he's all funny. Oh, I would get him riled up and he'd get angry very fast. And you guys think Sean's all funny and cute. Oh, he's like a good guy. No. People are like, oh, Sean Sean, he's an asshole and all that. He's like really mean. I was like, this guy's hilarious. And I would get him riled up. Like people would make mistakes and like have the camera and get all screwed up. And Sean would be like, it's like, what are you guys doing? Like get straighten up your camera and get fix this up. And I'm in the audio room, and then I'd go on the speaker and I'd be like, guys, you know what? You guys are really doing, Sean's right. You're doing a terrible job. It's like, I don't know. And then I get him all riled up again. He'd calm down for a bit, and then I get him around. It's like, guys, it's Sean. He's not going to do anything, but it was a live show. So the commercial breaks were like, they're like hard breaks. Like I would know they're coming. Like, I'm like, there's a break in 5 minutes countdown. Oh my God, Sean's right there. You bastard. Oh my God. I love it. I turn my back and J-Man's talking shit. Oh, buddy, Sean can come in at any moment. He's got he can. I made him a mod on here, so he can come on anytime. That is so funny. I was like, Sean. See, I knew it, and now he's trying to be all defensive. It's true though. Yeah, he gets so riled up. He'd get all pissed off, and then I'd rile him up even more. I'd be like, yeah, that was terrible. You guys got to get your shit together down there. What's going on? He'd be like, yeah, come on, guys. Get him even more riled up. Those are great.
You are destroying the image of Canadians being really pleasant and friendly and sorry all the time.
No, we do say sorry.
That.
We do say that all. We do say that all the time. Oh, and
sorry.
when I saw Transformers 1, I was wearing my Headmasters shirt that I wore on the last stream, and I was walking up the stairs with my popcorn. This guy's like, "Is that a Headmasters shirt?" I was like, "Holy shit, buddy!" I was like, "You're the only person that got that reference." I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, oh my god, that's awesome." So it's like, yeah, so. But no, we do talk like random people. Like we'll just be sitting there. We all start a conversation with each other at the theater. Like I've gone by myself now so many times, and yeah, just like talking. Okay, guys, 2:30. Yeah, take it easy, Paul. We're just shooting the shit now. We're just having fun. So you guys, you're good.
No
Thanks
star,
for
no star, no star.
Hmm?
Phil, Kaski and Thawel.
Oh,
No stars. Good night.
good night,
Good
no
night.
star. Okay.
Star.
Dobar Viet. No, I know Croatian. How do you say
there
it?
you go.
I haven't played it. I haven't spoken. So, Dobro noć. That's good night. Dobro noć. Wow. So there you go. All right, guys. Well, yeah, we can end it off there. I mean, now we're just talking about nonsense. But thanks for coming on. This was actually like really cool. This is a great comic. I never read it till now, so that's awesome. Tomorrow, what's going on tomorrow? Oh yeah, open talk for Transformers 1.
For what it's worth, I really recommend that New God series that John Byrne did in the 90s.
So is that
it's called Jack Kirby's Fourth World is the name of the series.
Kirby's.
And it's actually was followed up by another series called Orion that was done by Walt Simonson. And they're both pretty good.
I'm looking at it now. So it's like a 20 issue something. Fourth World. Let me see.
Can I ask, because we're just sort of on the same plane as Kirby, but obviously not as prolific, not as famous. But I don't know why he didn't become sort of the next Jack Kirby. What do you all think of Jim Starlin?
Yeah, he's awesome. Like Warlock and all that stuff are great. I was at one point I was like heavy into all of that stuff and trying to like consume as much of it.
Dreadstar is one of my favorite books.
Which one?
Yeah,
Dreadstar.
Never read that one. Let's take a look.
No,
you gotta read that.
You are missing out. Just the first 30 episodes.
That's what we should do, a stream for that.
What's which company? Because there's a few Dreadstars. There's First, Malibu.
So the original one was, well, actually, it's actually a thing because it started as a series of stories in Epic Illustrated, which was kind of a heavy metal like magazine that Marvel was doing.
Right.
Then Dreadstar was he did a Dreadstar graphic novel, and it was, what was it, like the
Price
second or third one? No, I mean the one that Marvel did. The Price was that actually was with Eclipse Comics. And then that led into a series that was published by Epic Comics, which was an imprint of Marvel.
Imprinter, yeah. Archie Goodwin was the editor, wasn't he? Is that right?
I
think Archie Goodwin.
It is. Is it this one? Hold on. I'll share the screen 1 second. Hold on.
Now,
I've got actually
the thing with Epic Illustrated is the artists retain the rights to their. That's it. Yeah.
Hang on a sec.
Although, like I say, I think to really get the context, there's some other stories before this series that you need to read to really kind of get it.
So we've got First Comics. That's the one we're looking at right now.
No, that's
Malibu.
No, we're looking at Epic Comics, right? And so it was done. Starlin did it with Epic Comics, and then he sold it to First Comics.
Oh, okay. So this site put it all as one. So they called it First Comics, but then they just.
Oh, are they? Okay, yeah. So it's around issue 30 something. It becomes First Comics.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Okay,
I've
so
got this one.
Let me see. Let me put you full screen. Hold on.
Dreadstar and Company.
Oh yeah.
Dreadstar and Company.
Marvel imprint. Yeah, Epic is the imprint of,
that's
Marvel.
That's when they started doing reprints for the newsstand, because it was originally a direct comic shop series.
Once Starlin finished art duties, though, the stories themselves began to decline in quality as well.
Yeah, I would say definitely read the First Comics, or I'm sorry, the Epic Comics run.
Yeah.
And so this is a series he did prior to Dreadstar called Metamorphosis Odyssey.
Yeah,
which is kind of like a prequel to.
Yeah, very eseteric. That.
This looks awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, this looks really good.
What was that? I would say the first 30 issues, so up until the point at which they eventually defeat the Church of Instrumentality, is a very strong, it's a very strong Star Wars vibe, and you don't really need to keep going after that. You could leave it there, I think. If you get those first 30 issues. Bye, Joe Dog.
See you, Joe Dog.
Yeah, I reckon if you read up to issue 30, you've got the best part of that series. But Dreadstar is just immense fun.
Okay, so there's 64 in total. So it ended up, so first did the last.
Oh, you don't read those. The art's horrible. The stories are.
Hey, it looks like Mr. Spock.
Skip that. Yeah, skip. Don't look at that.
Parody in it.
Oh yeah, it's crap. Go back to the beginning.
So let me see 30.
The Epic comic stuff, if you like his Marvel stuff, like his Warlock and Captain Marvel stories, really love Dreadstar.
Yeah, that's epic, that issue. That's where I reckon is a good place to finish the issue that J-Man's looking at right there. That's a good place to finish. But those first 30 issues, fantastic. There's great twists. There's some terrific twists in it. It's very, very mature, but done in a sensible way. I mean, the issues that are in today's comics, for example, there's a character who is the victim of pretty awful abuse by a family member, but it's dealt with in such a sensitive and intelligent way I don't read that crap, mate. Just leave those. Don't read that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where Jim Starlin's name is it just says creator writer.
I think he's not doing the art though. But when
he continued to write it for a while, but then
it's a it's a deconstruction. I mean, it's the dregs of victory, really. To quote Squadron Supreme, right? If you finish at 30, that's a good place to stop. Just for your own, I mean, it's up to you, but for your own satisfaction and enjoyment of the stories, because there is an energy and a joy to those first 30 issues and the story. Like that guy, that's the Lord Papal, as Classic mentioned, very strong Thanos vibe. But sorry, Classic, you were going to say.
I was going to say, in Starlin's defense on the early stuff at First Comics, it later kind of went off the rails, but Starlin was a Vietnam veteran, and I think that a lot of the early First Comic stuff was kind of like after the big war, and it's sort of about Starlin and his characters who are kind of like veterans at this point, sort of adjusting to life after the war and in peacetime, and how do you make that transition, because a lot of people did have difficulty with that.
But isn't it interesting though that in the first 30 issues that Dreadstar, his main, probably the arc he's most famous for, is as an insurgent, considering that he was a Vietnam veteran.
A rebel. Yeah, a rebel.
He's a rebel.
Okay,
but he is leading an insurgency against the church. Sorry.
All right, guys. Yeah, I gotta go. Okay, this is an awesome stream. Thanks so much. I'll definitely read those Dreadstars. I'll definitely get them. I know where I can get them in a way that I can read them easy. So, well, thank you, RR and Classic Comics, for coming on and recommending this. This was awesome. So we'll definitely,
thanks for having us.
do something again in the somewhat near future. As just a random one-off. And Sean, if you don't want to hear shit talk about you, then you have to come on. So that's how it goes. All right. Well, thank you to all of the Legionnaires. Thanks everybody in the chat. You guys are awesome. We'll see you tomorrow for Transformers 1 tomorrow. Spoiler talk, open talk, all that. Live long and prosper.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived.